What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Chin here again today from the Nothing But Facts podcast. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope you guys have had a good early week so far, right? Good week 6. And I hope you guys watched my video breaking down our week 6 reactions. Today, we're going to talk about our week 6 winners and losers. Not a long list, but I think we're going to stick on the losers this list, not the winners. We're going to talk about this week 6 losers. And let's jump right in. I think this is going to be a pretty straight to the point video. I'm pretty sure you guys should know maybe 2 of the teams that's on here, but let's just jump right into it anyways. Starting off, our number 1 team, the Penn State Nittany Lions, right? If you're not aware, if you were somewhere living under a rock, Penn State lost this weekend to UCLA 42-37. UCLA was 0-4, one of the worst Power 4 schools in the country. Losses to UNLV and to New Mexico. I think a lot of people ask, right, what does James Franklin do from here? A lot of the question has been, does he get fired at the end of the year? They owe him $55 million to be bought out. What happens? You know, does he make staff changes? What is going to happen with Penn State? I think it's what a lot of people want to know. There needs to be a high level of self-reflection if you're James Franklin. What happened on Saturday, that inexcusable loss that was so shameful that, that shook. This was equally shocking to that of when Vanderbilt beat Alabama last year. And we talked about this. We talked about this game last week saying, hey, if Penn State is going to change their season around, turn around after another heartbreaking loss, they need to handle business on the road. And they didn't. Right? We talked about this Penn State schedule. This Penn State schedule, it doesn't get easier. It doesn't get brighter. Right? You're going on the road against Iowa. You're going on the road against Iowa State. You're going on the road against Michigan State. You have Indiana at home, and you still have to play Nebraska. So if you're James Franklin, how do you motivate your football team moving forward? Right? There were national championship expectations for this football team. There were Big Ten championship expectations for this football team. Those expectations seem like they're over. Mathematically, probably they have a chance if they went out, beat Ohio State and Indiana. But from what it's worth right now, it looks like Penn State's season is over. So how do you get your guys motivated? You had a revamped wide receiver portal class. You addressed, trying to surround Drew Aller with all the talent that you can possible, and you still are having similar results or even worse. You hire Jim Knowles to be your DC, and I feel bad for people in State College because that's a proud fan base. It's a very proud fan base, and James Franklin moves on to 4-21 going against AP top 10 teams at home. Haven't beat a top 10 team since 2016. And I will also say, you have Katron Allen in the backfield, one of the best running backs in the country. All right. You have one of the most explosive running backs in the country in Katron Allen, and he's not being used. He's not being used. So is Andy Kołnicki, is he the right guy to call the offense? Right. We showed on Monday the play they called on 4th and 2 to win the game against you. Like, there's a lot of things that James Franklin is going to do at the end of the season. And maybe he comes to the end of the road and says, hey, the squeeze is not worth it. Right? The fans are coming up to my house, not saying this happens. What I read on social media, I don't know if I can handle the limelight. Right? I don't know if I'm the right guy to lead this program. And if I'm James Franklin, he needs to do that immediately, because you're doing something wrong if you're getting the same results. You're doing something wrong if you're getting the same results. We'll see what happens, but Penn State definitely on my losers list for week 6. Moving on to another team that I think we if you're a Kentucky fan, you're almost in this state of purgatory, right? Mark Stoops has never recruited a quarterback that I could remember that started for him. Mark Stoops has got a transfer quarterback every single season. I cannot name you a single guy that Mark Stoops recruited and actually panned out to be it. Like, I respect him, right? The SEC is a hard conference. The Kentucky job is a unique job, right? Because you have to sell the state, you have to sell the university. I've never been to Kentucky, but I could just tell it's a unique job. But I don't know if this program is trending the way they want to, right? There were questions 2 years ago when the A&M job opened up. There were questions about Mark Stoops potentially leaving Kentucky. Then the reports came out saying he was going to stay. Like, what is the plan for Kentucky football, right? Zach Calzada was your week 1 starter. He's been playing college football for 9 years. Like, you need to have some sort of longevity at the quarterback position. You need to have a certified guy you recruited that your coaching staff can testify that say, hey, that's our guy, to win you football games. Or we're just going to get the same results, like a 35-14 loss to Georgia. We're going to keep getting those same results. And I don't know what it is about Kentucky, but it's sort of been like the same thing for the last couple of years. I don't like the trajectory where the program is trending. I could be wrong, but I do think changes are going to happen quicker than sooner, right? Mark Pope is coming off of an Elite 8 performance, right? Kentucky basketball. Mark Pope is doing an outstanding job with Kentucky basketball. I'm pretty sure the AD wants Kentucky football to be just as, maybe not just as successful, but a lot more prideful than what they are now. 0-3 in the SEC. And I just don't see the bright spots for this football team, right? You have Texas at home on Saturday. That should be an interesting game. And then you have Tennessee, Auburn, Florida, Tennessee Tech, Vanderbilt, and your in-state rivalry against Louisville. So we'll see what happens with this Kentucky team, but I don't know. I don't like the way the trend in which the program is heading. I don't know if Mark Stoops is the right guy for the job, and we'll see what happens. But still a lot of football to be played. Still a lot of football to be played. Needed a water break. Moving on to we have some more losers. We have some more losers going into week 6, coming out of week 6. It's North Carolina, without a doubt. This team is one of the worst Power 4 teams in the country. No talent. They're not good. And I said this when Mac Brown was fired. I said that if North Carolina wants to take themselves seriously in the ACC, if they want to compete in this new age of college football, you need a coach who understands the times. You need a coach who can go out there to the West Coast, to the Southeast, to the Northwest in a day, right? In a day. We've seen Dan Lanning go crazy. He'll be in Newark, then he'll go to Miami, then he'll fly to Minneapolis, then he'll be to Houston, then he'll go. Like, you need a guy who can compete at that relentless level. And there is no way in hell you're telling me that Bill Belichick is the right guy for this job. There's just no way. There's no way you're telling me there's not more talented of a coaching pool out there than Bill Belichick. I remember when Wake Forest last year hired Jackson Dicker, I believe his name. That's the head coach from Washington State. Everyone was laughing about him, this, that, and the third. Wake Forest is a 3-2 football team. Wake Forest is doing what they have to do in order to be successful. And you're looking at North Carolina, and I see nothing here to tell me that this team is going to compete in the ACC. They are going to get blitzed every single game because that's what it looks like. They're not beating anybody that's a Power 4 team, right? They thank God their next game is not to the 17th. So hopefully they could go over, after the bye week and get some things fixed. But this North Carolina program is heading in the wrong direction. The Bill Belichick hire was wrong. And I don't know if there's any coming back from it. I think you should pull the plug now. Whatever his buyout is, buy it out right now. Fire him at the end of the year, because this is not what you want this program to be. North Carolina is a proud football team. They're a proud football program, and they deserve better than this. Getting blitzed like this, and the worst is yet to come. Virginia, Cal, Wake, Duke. Like, this could easily become 2-10 really fast. So we'll see what happens. But I think North Carolina definitely trending in the wrong direction. I think they need to make changes quickly. And our last team on this list, I need to make something abundantly clear. I have nothing but love, respect for Coach Prime. I love everything about him, what he does. I mean, I cannot speak negatively about what he has done at Colorado, but I do think also, in a weird way, they're spiraling. I don't want to say they're trending in the wrong direction, but this team is definitely spiraling. There are 2 games on this schedule right now that I'm looking at that easily could have been winnable. The BYU game, you're up 24-7. Georgia Tech was a slugfest. So you're looking at a potentially 4-2 football team. But the penalties, the lack of discipline, the inability to execute, the operation has not been clean at times. The revolving door at quarterback has gotten them to where they are now, 2-4 and 15th in last place in the Big 12. I mean, mathematically, they're last place in the Big 12. Oh, well, no, West Virginia is last place in the Big 12. So, look, I everyone's going to talk about what has happened in the past for, Colorado and this program. However, at the end of the day, I think Coach Prime, he's still a good coach. I still think he has time to salvage this situation, but you don't want to get into that area. You don't want to get into that gray area where 5-7, 6-6 becomes the norm, right? You're Coach Prime. You talked about the NIL resources and the opportunities that are there at the University of Colorado. Let's see how those things could play out. Let's see how we could, build, continuously develop our players here when we get them from the transfer portal. Let's see how we can get good players from high school and develop them. And I hope everything works out for Coach Prime in Colorado, but I don't see this ending well. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see this ending well. I think the way this season is going, you have Iowa State, you have Utah, Arizona State. Those are tough games, man. Iowa State is not easy. At Utah, I mean, Devon Dampier is one of the most electric quarterbacks in the country. You need to get this together quickly, or this won't end well. So we'll see what happens. But this is my Week 6 losers list. Watch out for my Week 6 winners list, or my winners coming out of Week 6. We'll see what happens. Still a long way from Saturday, but hey, we'll keep it going. Keep liking, keep comments, keep sharing. Love you guys. God bless. Peace.